Welcome to Stamps Old World UK, the channel where we dive deep into the stories, the history, and the surprising market value of some of the most iconic vintage stamps ever issued. Today, we are exploring a truly remarkable piece of philatelic history, a beautiful blue commemorative stamp featuring a distinguished royal couple celebrating their years together from 1923 to 1948. This elegant design, with its rich blue background, ornate crown emblem, and the denomination of 2.5 pence displayed proudly on the upper right, continues to attract collectors from all around the world. In this video, we will take you on a journey through its origin, its significance, and its true market value in today's stamp collecting world, all in dollars, so you can understand exactly what this classic stamp is worth right now. This stamp was originally issued to mark a royal anniversary, making it not only a postal item, but also a historical memento from a truly important era. The portrait of the royal couple symbolizes grace, leadership, and the legacy of a time that shaped modern British history. The years printed vertically on its sides, 1923 and 1948, commemorate 25 years of unity, tradition, and influence. The fine detailing, the contrasting light and dark shades of blue, and the intricate artwork give this stamp a majestic presence that still captivates collectors today. Because of its historical importance and its limited release, it remains one of the most sought-after commemorative stamps from the mid-20th century. When it comes to today's market value, the worth of this stamp depends on several key factors, including its condition, centering, color intensity, gum presence, and whether it has been postmarked. Stamps in excellent condition, with sharp edges, clear imagery, and no tears or discoloration are the most desirable. A mint, never hinged version with perfect color can fetch significantly more than a lightly used example. In the current market, a used version of this commemorative stamp often sells between $3,000 to $10,000, depending on overall preservation, while a very fine mint-hinged piece can reach between $15,000 to $25,000. The highest value, however, belongs to a mint, never-hinged stamp with exceptional centering, which can command anywhere from $40,000 to even $70,000 in today's collector market. For stamps created extremely fine with certification or provenance, rare buyers have been known to pay over $100,000, especially if the stamp retains its original vibrant blue and flawless gum surface. Collectors love this stamp not only for its appearance, but also for the rich story behind it. Each surviving copy is a small window into a royal celebration that took place over 75 years ago, a reminder of a united era and the craftsmanship that defined British stamp production. Stamps like this are more than paper. They are pieces of preserved history that travel across generations, carrying stories, admiration, and value. For new collectors, this stamp is often a gateway into the deeper world of philately, and for experienced collectors, it remains a timeless treasure that continues to rise slowly in demand each year. If you are thinking of buying or selling this stamp, always make sure to compare listings on reputable auction platforms and examine the condition very carefully. High-resolution images, expert grading, and verified sellers can make a big difference in securing a fair price. The market for commemorative royal stamps remains strong, and as time passes, pristine examples will only become rarer. This slow but steady rarity is what makes this stamp such a solid long-term collectible for anyone building a valuable philatelic portfolio.
Next up, a bright and elegant red 2.5 pence postage and revenue issue featuring the young portrait of Queen Elizabeth II. This stamp is one of the most recognizable early Elizabethan-era designs, celebrated for its royal symbolism, powerful color, and timeless elegance. Today, we are going to uncover the history behind this stamp, why collectors continue to search for high-grade examples, and most importantly, how much this beautiful red stamp is worth right now in the modern stamp market in dollars. This stamp represents one of the early periods of Queen Elizabeth II's reign, captured through beautifully detailed artwork that highlights both her royal grace and the strength of the monarchy. The red color used for the design was chosen to symbolize power, tradition, and authority, giving the stamp a bold and unforgettable appearance. Surrounding the Queen's portrait are two crowns, beautifully detailed and positioned on each side, representing the monarchy's heritage and continuity. On the left side is the iconic royal orb, a symbol of sovereign power, and on the right is a powerful eagle emblem, reflecting leadership and global influence. Every detail of this stamp was carefully crafted to showcase the beginning of a new royal era, making it not only a postal item but also a historical piece cherished by collectors for generations. Over the years, this stamp has become increasingly popular as collectors look for early representations of Queen Elizabeth II, especially those printed with bright colors and fine detailing. Condition plays a major role in determining the value. A stamp that has been used lightly, with a clear cancellation mark and no tears or fading, typically ranges between $2,000 to $8,000 in today's collector market. These used versions are affordable for beginners and very common for anyone starting a British stamp collection. However, mint condition stamps begin to show their true value. A mint-hinged example, where the original gum has been lightly touched, can sell anywhere from $10,000 to $18,000, depending on centering and freshness of color. But the most valuable pieces are the mint, never-hinged examples, which can smoothly reach between $25,000 to $45,000 if the red color is strong, the paper is crisp, and the stamp shows perfect centering. In extremely fine quality, with deep, rich color and perfect perforations, some collectors have paid $60,000 or even higher, especially if the stamp comes with certification or has been preserved in archival conditions. The demand for this stamp continues to grow because Queen Elizabeth II remains one of the longest-reigning monarchs in world history, and her early-era stamps have become increasingly symbolic and desirable. Every collector knows that as time passes, stamps featuring the early portrait of a monarch gain deeper historical significance, especially after major historical transitions. This makes the stamp not just a collectible item, but an emotional and historical reminder of royal heritage. Its vibrant red color, combined with the exquisite royal symbols, gives it a commanding presence that stands out beautifully in albums, displays, and specialized collections.
Next up, the classic early Elizabethan period, a stunning 5-shilling red stamp that captures not only the elegance of Queen Elizabeth II, but also the timeless beauty of one of Britain's most famous landmarks. This is one of the higher-valued definitive stamps of its era, and today we will uncover its origin, its collectible importance, and most importantly, its true market value in today's world, all in dollars. Get ready for a long and deeply detailed journey through the story and the value of this royal red treasure. This 5-shilling stamp stands out immediately due to its rich red color, its large frame, and its detailed design that blends royal portraiture with architectural history. On the right side, you see the early portrait of Queen Elizabeth II wearing her elegant crown and facing left with a calm and dignified expression. Her image is surrounded by a fine engraved border that reflects authority, grace, and the regal tone of British postage from that era. On the left side of the stamp is a beautifully rendered illustration of the Tower of London, an iconic fortress with centuries of royal legacy. The castle's walls, windows, and riverside reflections are all captured with incredible precision, making this stamp not just a piece of postal history, but also a miniature work of art. The combination of the Queen's youthful portrait and the historic tower creates a perfect harmony of monarchy and heritage, both powerful symbols of the British identity. Because the 5-shilling denomination was considered a high-value stamp during its time, very few were used casually for everyday mail. Instead, most were used for heavier packages or international postage, which means that many surviving used examples have heavy cancellations, minor creases, or postal wear. This makes high-grade examples even more valuable today. Collectors love this stamp because it represents a higher denomination from the Wilding series, one of the earliest and most classic designs associated with Queen Elizabeth II. Its bold color, large size, and dual imagery give it a presence that stands out in any stamp album. It is often regarded as one of the most attractive and collectible stamps of its time. In today's stamp market, condition plays an extremely important role in determining value. A used copy with a clear cancellation and no major faults typically sells between $6,000 and $12,000, depending on centering and freshness of color. However, used stamps with very fine appearance and light cancellation marks can sell for $15,000 to even $22,000, especially from sellers who specialize in British high-value issues. Mint-hinged examples of this stamp, where the original gum has been lightly disturbed, usually range between $28,000 and $40,000, with well-centered, bright examples reaching $50,000 or slightly more. The highest market value belongs to mint never-hinged copies, which are prized for their untouched gum, crisp paper, and clean color. A perfectly preserved mint never-hinged example can command anywhere between $60,000 and $95,000 in today's collector market. In extremely fine quality, deep color, perfect centering, sharp perforations, some collectors have paid over $120,000, especially when the stamp is authenticated or comes from an old private collection. Because high-value stamps like this were printed in lower numbers than everyday denominations, they have steadily increased in value over the decades. Collectors from around the world, especially those who specialize in the Wilding series or high-denomination British classics, continue to seek top-grade examples. As time passes and more pieces become worn, damaged, or lost, the value of high-grade copies is expected to rise even more. For long-term collectors, this stamp represents a strong and stable investment, especially when properly stored in a cool, dry, archival, safe environment. Its appeal is both historical and artistic, making it one of the standout stamps of Queen Elizabeth II's early reign. Thank you for watching Stamps Old World UK, where every video celebrates the beauty, history, and real market value of the world's most unforgettable stamps. If you enjoy learning about rare British stamps and discovering how much they are worth today, make sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and share your thoughts in the comments. Your support helps us continue exploring these historical treasures that shape the world of philately. Stay tuned for more detailed stamp histories, more market insights, and more timeless classics. Until then, may your stamp collection grow richer, rarer, and full of extraordinary finds.